that'll be the skill that we can give from this. Is that there's a skill to being able to listen to one person's point, hold yours, that pay attention. And
all right,
so is it recording?
It's recording. It's recording as well. Yeah, so we just
Is it recording?
It's recording. It's recording as well. Yeah, so we just
Is it recording?
It's recording. It's recording as well. Yeah, so we just
That way we don't have multiple voices.
It's recording. It's recording as well. Yeah, so we just
Yeah, we'll be able to share ideas. I have a viewer that says we'll be able to echoey.
Who said that?
My viewer. I have a viewer that says we'll be able to echoey.
How are we have an echo?
My viewer. I have a viewer that says we'll be able to echoey. Really?
How do we have an echo?
Just listen.
Echoey. Really?
How do we have an echo?
Just listen.
What the fuck? Wait, why is that? How do we have an echo?
No way.
What the fuck? Wait, why is that?
It controls.
I messed with it. No way.
What the fuck? Wait, why is
I
that?
turned it down. I messed with it. No way.
There's a lot of background noise.
Turned it down. What other background noise?
I don't know. There's a lot of background noise.
Turned it down. What other background noise?
I don't know. There's a lot of
Turned it down. What other background noise?
I don't know. There's a lot of
What other background noise?
I don't know. It's like a bunch of ghosts or some shit.
It sounds like it's us talking in the background.
I
Except
don't know.
not.
It's like a bunch of ghosts or some shit.
It sounds like it's us. There's an overlap.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of ghosts or some shit.
It sounds like it's us. There's an overlap.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of ghosts.
Do you have another mic plugged in?
Maybe. Oh wait, maybe. Yeah, it's like a bunch of. Okay, I think I
Do
know.
you have another mic plugged in?
Maybe. Oh wait, maybe. So I think I set the mic
Have another mic plugged in?
also at output audio, so I think outputting the same audio. I set
That's got to be it. That sounds like it.
That sounds right.
outputting the same audio.
That's got to be it. That sounds like it.
That sounds right. Thanks for pointing that out, audience.
That's got to be it. Rissa G sounds like a loop.
Thanks for pointing that
Thanks,
out.
Rissa G 94. That's got to be
I
it.
need to wear my
Rissa G
glasses.
sounds like a loop. We work together.
Thanks for pointing that
Thanks,
out.
Rissa G 94. That's got to be
I need to wear
it.
my
Rissa G
glasses.
sounds like a loop.
Yeah.
We work together.
Thanks for pointing that
Rissa
out.
G 94.
Thank you. I need to wear
Rissa
my
G
glasses.
sounds like a loop.
Yeah.
We work together.
Thanks for pointing that out. Thank you. I need to wear
Rissa G sounds like a loop.
in the volume settings. Thank you.
Don't park in my driveway. Taylor's about.
In the volume settings.
My bad.
That was a long time.
Don't park in my driveway. Taylor's about. I did park in the driveway, and I didn't really think it made sense to move out, but I sure did in the driveway.
You parked up.
I did park in the driveway, and I didn't really think it made
My thing here, and then I'll turn it down.
Yeah, just mute your computer. Yeah.
Is it picking us up very well? It doesn't look like it. It's like a little tiny ass bar.
Rissa, how's that loop? Does it sound any better?
When you pick it up and set it down, it makes loud clunking noises.
I figured it would.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this down all the way.
What are the
Oh, you know,
what are the knobs on the back?
you know what'll help? This will
All
actually
right.
help.
Oh, good idea.
Hopefully that fixed it.
Don't you need like a shock?
Yeah,
Hey, that fixed it. Hey.
that sounds great.
Don't you need like a shock?
Oh, that sounds
me.
so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah, sounds good.
that's good. Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
thank you,
Perfect.
Marissa.
Yep.
Is that her name?
Marissa.
Marissa.
No more loop. Thanks, Rissa G.
Gosh. All right, that's very helpful. Now we know. Now we know.
Well, so we decided then that we're gonna try and meet weekly, and we're gonna try and find a structure.
Or do it weekly. Meet when we can.
Meet when we can.
We should set up a schedule, and someone should be in charge of like Twitter for announcements.
Our producer.
So David, you're on Twitter quite a bit, right?
I am, yeah. Except
that'd be great.
I
if
got
you could
rid of
handle
my old
that.
account. I only have like 32 followers now.
Ugh. But yeah, if you set up one, that would be great. We can link it in the description of the channel and set up a schedule there too.
That's a good idea.
Then people will know when we'll be live and they'll be ready.
I really want to take some pride in this.
Me too.
I feel like we'd really get the most out of it, even if we don't get that many followers or that many viewers, if we just execute it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like that'd be the most fun
not
for
really
us.
well, but pretty well.
Yeah, pretty well. Enough,
Pretty
that,
well.
you know, so we can get a good structure.
We're gonna have to change the name.
After,
Why?
Yeah.
DSRJ.
So yeah, if there are any name recommendations from Marissa, that would be great. We're not very creative,
No.
as it turns out. Our best
Pronunciation.
option was cock. What? Something about cocks.
Big cock havers.
Big
Yeah.
cock
Cock
havers.
havers.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tim in the chat.
Yeah.
Turn it
Cock
down a
hours.
little more, just in case.
Huh?
Turn it down a little more. I don't know how
Oh,
loud it's
yeah.
gonna be.
But yeah, once we get the record player, then we'll just have normal ambienic music in the background.
Record player.
Yeah.
Maybe
You wanna get a
some-
record player
Maybe
for
some
it?
chill.
Yeah, we have one.
Oh, you have a record? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
we just got it on Black Friday,
Cool.
so we can bring it
I want a
over.
record player too, dude. That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, I was thinking we could just set it right where that square is.
Do you have to buy records for it, or
We
is
have
it?
a bunch already. We've got a few popular ones. What are they, Casey?
It was like Elton John,
Elton John. Yep, that's one.
Whitney Houston,
What's the one that we just listened to?
Billy Joel. There's a lot of them. Like there's like 100 of them.
Yeah, we have a bunch of records
Yeah.
already. And then we can all just go shopping for records and pick out music that we want.
That'd be a nice segment.
Yeah.
So our record of
Fuck
the
yeah.
day.
I picked out Tyler the Creator's Igor. From my
Okay.
record.
Is that on record, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Igor's
can
right
get
there.
rap albums on record.
Shit, bro.
That'd be kind of sweet.
Yeah,
Igor.
then we'll just have a
The
random
C-bar?
person walk in and change it every now and then. Siri, play,
Oh shit.
name a song.
Oh, what the? Okay. go.
Igor's theme by Tyler the Creator.
Igor's theme, but yeah. Then she just walks in, places
That's
it.
too loud.
That's too loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn it down to like 10.
10. Okay.
I can barely hear 10. Big difference between 15 and 10.
That's good though. It's fine.
12.
Sure.
Is it even? What's going on? There's no sound. I don't hear anything.
I can't even hear it on here.
I'm probably deaf. That's why.
Well, it hasn't started yet on there because it's got
I
a
feel like
delay.
you would know if you were deaf.
What up? Yeah, I would probably know.
I think you paused it.
I did.
And it's not really playing. But
Just wait for it. It's got a delay.
no, I heard turn it down on here. Oh.
Well, this is
What
kind
the?
of neat.
Why did it turn off? Wait. Wait. Why is it doing that?
So,
Oh, I think it's plugged into Taylor's phone, so like I'm playing music on her thing, so she's. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. Where's my phone at?
Is it plugged in over here?
All right. So
Oh,
while
yeah.
Jeryn's figuring that out,
yeah.
Let's talk to each other. We're not talking to the audience.
yeah.
So how about the giant boom that streaming and esports have made, and
Actually, it's super interesting. So, some streamers are getting paid like $40 million to contract themselves out to a different platform for like 4 years.
Like what's
Ninja.
Ninja? And,
Yeah. Ninja, what's that guy's
Shroud.
name?
Shroud.
Yeah, Shroud. He got paid like $30 million. This guy called Disguised Toast is being
Oh,
paid
and then
15
Disguised Toast really got.
15 million to switch to
Jesus.
Facebook, I think, or Mixer, one of the two.
is
Stupid.
Facebook really blowing up that big? Because I've only heard of Twitch.
No,
and
they're
Mixer.
just paying a ton of money.
They're trying
Facebook?
to buy their way into
Yeah,
the
exactly,
streaming.
exactly. So what they're trying to do is pay streamers a bunch of money to move over to platforms and lose a bunch of viewers, but they're getting paid so much they have to accept because that's just.
I mean,
you
why
know,
wouldn't you?
if you care
Yeah.
about your livelihood and your savings?
Though if it, I mean, yeah, true.
yeah,
Well, your dedicated fans will still show up there.
yeah, some of like
Yeah,
they-
that's.
they
it's
take
lame.
about a 1/3 hit to their viewership. I heard.
Oh.
So
I mean, that's not too bad.
yeah, 1/3 or 1/4 maybe, and so they're left with quite less viewers,
going here?
but they get paid a lot of money, and I can't blame them. You know?
Yeah,
know, if
why would you
Mixer
not?
ever-
Why would you not do that? That's
Yeah.
irresponsible to not take
Truly.
that money,
Frankly.
even if it's like I wouldn't say it's like you're a sellout, but honestly, it's like
It's just the smart thing.
That's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
It's not even.
If Mixer ever wants to hit us up, hit us with that check.
There's no reason not to take
We're gonna
money.
get super popular, so you might as well hit us now.
Yeah, get us now while we're cheap.
Yeah.
And by cheap, I mean like
$10,000 each.
yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great. So we'll be checking our emails.
Where
But
the hell is?
I used to watch just eSports now, or I used to back when Nade Shot was actually playing.
Mm-hmm.
But now I just watch like
Did you know that? I don't know. You don't follow Call of Duty anymore. But I decided to look at the new Call of Duty stuff
it's
because the new
garbage.
game
I
came out.
followed it.
But yeah, so Scumpy's on a whole nother team. All the teams are scrambled now.
Hex.
Huh?
Hex was bought out of Optic
Yeah.
by some place in California. They're it's like basketball or like pro sports.
Pro sports
where
now.
it's a city instead of just a team.
Yeah.
So Hex made a new team in Chicago.
Yeah, I think the LCS is doing that, franchising teams
Yeah,
and
franchising.
stuff.
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's healthy for the games, though.
Except you, as the team, has to pay 25 mil to get into the new Call of Duty season. So
Yeah, but they make so much
Yeah, that's
more.
a lot.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
That's why Nate
they're upping
Shot
the
didn't
prize
do it.
pool. I mean, I'm
Well,
sure they upping the prize pool though, because
Adding
you have to be happy
franchise just adds more advertising and more
Yeah.
culture to the games, more
Mhm.
viewership.
but 100 Thieves didn't buy into the COD League. They had to drop everyone because they're new and 25 mil is just not within their
Wow,
range
really?
right now. Yeah,
That's
even though they're
his
the
thing.
biggest.
Yeah.
Like
Huh.
100 Thieves.
He
Is,
bought into League, but not Call of Duty. That's weird.
Yeah, but League is bigger. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
way bigger.
I saw. Oh, there was a basketball player for the Suns who was walking into a game, a pregame, with 100 Thieves merch on. Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
Yep. So 100 Thieves isn't just a gaming brand anymore. It's turned into like a Supreme kind of.
Yeah.
Is that like a paid sponsorship, or is he participating in the games?
That's his. That's their.
Their partner?
How do you say it? That's their name in the. That's their team name.
100 Thieves is the
100
organization.
Well, 100 Thieves, but
Yeah.
how does that relate to Devin Booker? Is he actually participating? He's not playing
No,
games.
he's
just
not,
a sponsor, or he's
Yeah.
just
no,
getting
he's
sponsored
no, he's not. He's just decided to wear it
as a fashion statement.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys running around with that.
Yeah. 100 Thieves kind of sucks at League, but they're really good at advertising.
Mm-hmm.
So they reach a lot of places, and
That makes a big difference.
yeah, for sure. They're definitely one of the more financed teams.
I mean,
Because of
Drake is an owner.
That's
part
right.
Owner.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
I've seen
they
him
just-
do it.
They just can't win
Oh, that's why.
at all.
They were really good at COD when they were in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they were good at COD.
They're just making wrong.
That's good because
team
Nate Shot
choices.
bought it or
they
you know,
dropped
organized
one
it.
really big guy for League, and then they just picked him back up. I can't remember what his name was.
Bang.
No, I have to look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really follow the 100 Thieves. They're not super interesting because they just lose so much.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I only follow it because of Nate Shot. Because he's my father.
He kind of looks like he could be.
Really?
You know, that's true. You do look like
They
you
do,
do.
Or like
Yeah.
your older brother or something, you know?
That's so true, actually.
That's
I
kind of weird.
appreciate
They do look
that.
like very
You
similar.
appreciate that?
Yeah.
Nate Shot's cousin? Question mark?
Cousin,
Could
yeah,
be.
cousin.
Yeah.
Nate
You guys
Shot's a
look
good-looking
very
guy,
similar.
That is kind of strange. Jeryn, you getting the Spotify?
I'm getting
worked out?
up on there finally.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I didn't realize I needed to be on the same network because I thought it already was. So that's why I was sitting here like an idiot for a while.
Well, that's all right. Looks like you got it.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Good times. Oh, or not. We'll just
Medios.
Skip good
That's
times.
what it is.
Oh,
Medios.
Medios? Yeah, they dropped him last year, I think.
Oh, Medios is good.
Yeah, apparently the league coach was a douchebag and forced Medios out.
Yeah, Prawley.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he made some bad choices. He used to be really good in
Turn that
EU.
down a couple.
Okay.
in the European branch, but
Yeah, and then they kicked Prawley out, and
yeah.
Medios is now back on.
Yep,
But
yep.
I think that's good.
I don't claim to follow the league scene as much. I mean, I barely even follow the COD League. But I figured
League
that
scene
was
is
big news.
interesting, yeah. They, you know the biggest news? Team Liquid just got an EU jungler from last year's finals, Broxa.
Oh yeah.
That team's looking like a superpower this year.
I didn't even know who, like...
Is there no
Team
open
Liquid-
one?
There's the cases open in the fridge. That's one
okay.
that David brought, and
Yeah.
then if you make it through that, you got a full case there.
I didn't even know who Team Liquid and like Cloud9 were, and then that's because I only follow like the COD scene. And I was like, oh, they're huge in League.
Yeah. I thought Cloud9 played in CSGO as well.
They do. Yeah. They play in CS:GO.
Yeah.
Cloud9 was one of the biggest teams for America,
Yeah.
and they actually won a major, and then they all split up
Oh,
right
that
after the
sucks.
major. They all got basically bought out by bigger teams
Yeah,
because
probably.
they're like, oh, you guys are actually really good, and all the big teams were like, hey, and then bought them up.
And we don't need to keep talking about eSports since
That's
Skyler
fine.
doesn't
That's
know very
fine.
much. But,
That's fine. You guys are making your rounds through it.
it's about that Nebraska game.
I haven't. What
Ooh.
happened? I didn't watch
Did you guys
it.
watch it?
I didn't
I
watch
did.
it.
I watched the
Who
first.
was it against? Who was it against?
Iowa.
Iowa. That's it.
I watched until they were down like by 12 points or.
I mean,
however
Iowa's like,
much.
are they third in our conference right now? Like for score? Like over their was it
Rank.
rank? I mean, or the record. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, they're right at the
third in our
top of the
conference?
conference. I think
It's
they're first,
like
second.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then
was
Iowa.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, then
Then Iowa, yeah. So yeah, Nebraska was down 24-10, and then they came all the way back.
Wait, really?
We won.
Yep. No. Oh, Dan, no, we didn't. So yeah, 24-10. We got that pick six off their quarterback.
Yeah, I saw that.
Momentum
Nice.
Turner.
Yep, that was great. And then they had that kickoff return, all the way
Yeah,
back for a
yeah.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Nice.
24-10.
That was sad.
Yep, punched a couple things during that. And then Nebraska made a comeback all the way back 24-24.
Wow.
And then some dumbass offensive coordinator thought it was a good idea to just waste the clock and make it turn into overtime.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Scott Frost has Scott. If you're
I
listening,
never
to this,
understand why they do
It
that.
wasn't Scott's decision.
Scott's the play caller.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
so
Oh.
Scott has a tendency for not knowing how to manage the clock at the end of halves and the end of games, and he really dropped the ball in this one because he was trying to decide whether we were going to play for overtime or play to win.
not lose or play to win.
Yeah, we had the ball on our own 40-yard line. We're 60 yards away from a touchdown, and he decided we were going to waste out the clock instead. Adrian Martinez wasn't sure on what the plan was, so he was running out of bounds, saved a bunch of time. Iowa ended up getting the ball back, driving down, and they're...
Gosh, that's sad.
We got lucky with a penalty too.
Yes, we did have the refs' advantage.
Yeah.
We had several calls, like 4 or 5 calls that could have gone either way that Nebraska got, but...
And we still just our defense, our coverage.
Our offense got sharded on the first half, I'd say.
Absolutely sharded on.
and our
Like,
defense.
they couldn't get first downs at all.
Yeah, the offense was pretty bad, but that's what it is. We have a bunch of injured players,
Yeah.
and Scott Frost doesn't really know how to call plays. He coached in a weak conference.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Iowa's trick plays were pretty good. I've got to say that one, the pitch back and forth and then the touchdown. That
Dude,
one was pretty good.
That's such a common.
I know, but they
Good
played
play.
them well.
When it's against Nebraska, it looks like a genius.
Yeah.
play. That's the
True.
thing.
They use that in the NFL all the time, and it works like every time for some reason.
Yeah, you get those linebackers over pursuing to the wrong side.
Yeah.
We have a lot of terrible linebackers on Nebraska's team, so they're not able to cover a freaking reverse.
There was a period where
What in the fuck's
we
that?
wouldn't. I mean, our defense was actually looking good.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
couldn't score more.
during the end of the second quarter, the whole third quarter, I was pretty confident going into the fourth
Yeah.
quarter.
That's too bad it went out like that.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sad I didn't watch the rest now. It just looked
it's
so
okay.
doomed.
Well, it was.
It was. You're more wise than I am. I fall for it every time. Every time I'm like,
Same.
we have a chance, and then Nebraska.
We can still make it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, when it's 24-24, and it looks like you're driving down a score, and then Scott Frost says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 no, overtime," and then you're like, "Why?
What are we doing here?
Why?"
It reminds me of when we faced JCC, like our team faced JCC our senior year.
Oh yeah.
And we were up by like 2 points.
Yeah.
And we just scored. And who was it? Did they call? I don't remember. It was one of our coaches.
Yeah.
Most pros like they
I thought
showed
it was
her.
Butterfield.
I don't know. It was one of them. And made a really stupid fucking call, and that was to go for 2 instead of just kicking the ball for 3 or for 3-point lead.
I remember you getting pretty upset about
I was
that.
mad.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had a chance to get it,
And
but they dropped the ball.
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty tough. That was the same
So
season.
what happened? They got a field goal or something?
I think what did happen? I don't know, but I remember that it
I thought
It
it
might
was
have
a
been a
close
field
game.
goal. It was a very close game.
I thought they won like 24-22 or something.
It was something stupid, like
So
they
it
won by
had
like
to
I think they won by 1 or something like that.
So it had to have been it's because.
Oh yeah, I think they got a field goal. I think
Yeah,
that's exactly what
it
happened.
Must have been.
Yeah,
That was the difference.
yeah.
maker.
So
The thing is, it was
So
an
they won
away
by
game.
1.
None of us got to watch.
yeah,
So you guys were trying to protect against that instead of going for the tie.
pretty much.
You were trying to win. So I
But okay,
mean,
no, we were
They were up 2.
yes, but the thing is, we
Yeah.
would have. Yeah,
you were up
but,
two.
they wouldn't. But instead, we would have tied with them if once they had a
Exactly.
field goal instead of them because we didn't get the 2 points. And we went for
Exactly.
that. Yeah, so
So
we should have just gone for the safe play instead of going for the win. In my opinion, because we really sucked at 2-point conversions. That's the reason why, and our coaches should have known that
however, we just talked about how
because we haven't made like any
Nebraska-
2-point conversions the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
we just talked about how Nebraska went for the safe play and then we ragged on them. So
Yeah, but the thing is,
That's a good point.
our team, Nebraska probably is able to actually score though, whereas we couldn't score. We sucked at scoring. Like we didn't have like a single 2-point conversion that entire year. So but we made plenty of field goals.
Yeah.
So
Was that
it was
tight
safer
influence?
to go for the tie at the end if they end up getting a field goal.
There's a coaching gap there. I mean, you have to know your players.
Exactly.
Butterfield was a high school coach last season.
Was it Titus who
Hear
was
that?
kicking the field goals and the extra points?
Titus, yeah, it was Titus, and he could have easily made it
Yeah.
because he was very good at kicking.
I mean, he played soccer, so
Yeah.
I love you, Mr. Butterfield, by the way.
no disrespect.
Honestly, I didn't like him our senior year. He was a bit of a dick. Like he made some horrible calls.
Yeah, he had some interesting coaching calls, but besides that, he was a great teacher and a
Yeah.
good guy. But sometimes you're in those tough situations and it's hard to know what to do.
very true.
Hindsight's 2020. It's easy to look back and
I guess he believed in our. He believed in
Yeah. I mean that's true. He believed in you
our
guys.
players.
and there he was wrong.
It was a bad
Yeah,
choice.
He probably has his own podcast where he's talking shit on you guys. Like, I can't believe I trusted these players.
No, what was it? I had it in my head and it just dropped out.
I think
Pretty much
Butterfield.
everybody though was mad at him for it though. We pretty much unanimously were mad at that play call.
Yeah, I remember that. That was tough. That was the senior year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it
JC ends
was-
up winning by 1.
It was not completely separate. I was going to talk about college football again, but just about who you think Ohio State versus Michigan.
Oh gosh, man,
Ohio State.
that'll be a good game.
You'd think.
Michigan. Okay, Michigan's really fucking good, but Ohio State is like disgusting.
Ohio State's the most dominant
Michigan-
team.
Ohio State is just dominant. Dude.
I can't see it being a Michigan win. I
I
can see
would-
it being a close
It's
game.
being close, yeah.
It's always this close. They've played over 100 times.
Yeah.
Those two teams.
It's
I
just-
mean, like since the 1800s,
Yeah.
they've been playing games. Every game they play is close. And Michigan's been good lately, and also Ohio State has been good lately too. It'll be an awesome game.
I don't know. I mean, Ohio State routed Wisconsin, and have they played Penn State?
They did. They played
Yeah.
them last week, and that was the
Ohio
closest game.
State?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ohio State.
wasn't it they won about it was like 10 or no, was it?
I think it was by 10 or 12.
10, yeah, something like that.
It was
I remember the
close. It
score.
was the closest game they've had all year.
I just think it's funny how Harbaugh hasn't beaten Ohio State since he's become the Michigan coach.
Yeah, they're paying him like most in the Big Ten.
Hmm. They're paying him to beat Ohio State, and he can't beat Ohio State.
Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you guys want another beer?
I'll take one, yeah.
I'm still going on my whiskey.
Yeah, I'm like full, so I can't drink beer, man. It's so hard. Beer's way too hard.
I feel like you guys can chime in.
Gets you loaded.
You're just sitting there in silence.
I just thought it was your guys' thing. Not trying to interrupt.
I see. I smell it. Should we do a shot, guys?
Sure.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm good.
I'll take one.
I'll go with you, Jeryn.
Down
David's the
rabbit hole.
puss here. Live on the internet. Big pussy
I'll
David.
use.
And we're live on the
David's.
internet with Pussy David. Just kidding.
Why is this
I'm just
isn't a
kidding, David. I
full
love you,
shot?
dude.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Jeryn, that's like a third of a shot.
Your mom's a third of a shot, bro.
You have a dinosaur in your glass.
Roller
dinosaur.
coaster.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur.
Well, what if Tim's watching this?
Tim?
You just called Skyler's mom a dinosaur.
Oh,
You call my mom a dinosaur?
yo, I didn't mean it, Tim.
I think they probably are.
Tim,
They're probably
don't
not watching.
kill me.
No, they're probably doinking right now.
No, they've got the podcast on,
Oh.
and they're doing.
No!
This looks like a double shot to me, but
Let me see.
Oh my God.
that looks like
No,
a
you're
lot.
good. You're good.
Yo.
Yo.
Oh, no.
I don't think you should, David.
Let's clinkies.
Well, let's fucking cheers.
Cheers to.
Yo, bro. Yo, fuck.
There we go.
Oh, I couldn't get it all down. That was definitely a double shot.
Fuck.
Didn't even fit in my
I
mouth.
fucked up.
Oh, my bad. I'm a heavy pourer. That's delicious.
Holy shit.
You're supposed to swallow, not breathe. You don't inhale while you drink
I like
it.
fucking breathed it in.
Oh, that was definitely a double
Holy
shot.
shit.
That was 2 full mouthfuls.
Yeah, same.
Like,
No, Jeryn, it wasn't. You have a
I know, I
dinosaur
mean,
in your shot.
what I mean is that like I double gulped it on accident. Like I
It's a
fucking
good thing
inhaled
Casey
it.
drove.
I fucking like inhaled the shot.
This is pretty cool.
I did do a double shot, and Jeryn did a third of a shot, and he's dying.
Jeryn's dying.
That was nasty, brother.
Brother.
Wanna write part two?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh shit.
I don't sense that was all the way a joke.
Maybe.
Is that the one in Bellevue right off
in
of
a doghouse.
Cornhusker? The facility, the UPS
No, it's,
facility?
it's next to Metro. Yeah.
That might be what I'm
On
thinking.
Edward Babe Gomez.
That's one that's right next to the dog food factory. That sometimes smells
Did I
bad.
just leak too much
Is that
information?
What that is?
Yes.
That smells so terrible every time.
Yes. Well, there no right next to Metro.
Edward
It's a
Babe
meat.
Gomez.
There's a meat processing, and they also have a dog food one right there.
That smells so bad.
Yeah, it does.
It is
Sorry.
surprisingly terrible.
People are gonna stalk me at work now. I just leaked the address. Edward Babe Gomez. I
Why
just
did
said
you
it
say
again.
again?
He's saying
Oh
it
my
again.
gosh. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to smelling that nasty. Going back to your
Yeah.
Such an awful smell.
Not the best smell.
What are you doing with school right now?
Right now I'm taking a break because
Oh man.
UPS was kicking my ass.
Do you want to get your degree?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going for right now? We probably talked about this at Skyler's. I'm just
General studies is what I'm going for. So I just saw Skyler's face peeking.
Talk about general studies.
Yeah, I'm going for general studies. My idea is to take photography classes, real estate classes, and some kind of law enforcement classes, because the law enforcement goes into park ranger, and then photography goes into real estate. So I got 3 different job types that I can do.
That's a genius
Yeah.
idea.
That
It's better
way-
to keep yourself broad.
When I get bored, I just switch to another one.
That's a good idea.
That's my plan.
I didn't know you were thinking about being a park ranger.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I can ski every day. I can go
That's
test some shit.
the creative. That's the open mindset, right?
Exactly.
The open mindset. I like that.
I just have to finish the degree.
You guys know the psychology of like a human mind, right? Like of ocean. You know what I mean? Like it's the acronym ocean.
No, I haven't heard
You
that.
know what I'm talking
Is
about?
this a Jordan Peterson thing?
No, well, I mean it is, but it's
Oh,
just
it
like
is.
it's a psychology thing in general, though.
Go
But
ahead.
like what?
Go ahead. What is it? What's ocean?
Ocean is like openness is the O, obviously.
Sure.
And that's kind of like how it's kind of how open you are to things. So like it's your creativity. It's and then the more open you are to things, is the more creative you are. And on average, a creative person will be have like a higher IQ compared to like more conscientious people, which is what the C is.
Conscientious.
I'm
is
not
the
And
same.
creative.
conscientious is the C. and then E is extroversion. A is agreeableness.
Go back to conscientious.
And then N is
Whoa.
neuroticism.
You gave a full speech for O.
Yeah, can you
Go back to
explain?
C.
So conscientiousness is like basically your ability to. Well, it's mainly the people that are like, I'm stuck right here. Like I'm doing this one thing, and it has to be exactly the way I want it to be. And if it's not, I'll kill you, kind of thing. Like this is how it has to be. You know.
So
what I mean?
people who are conscientious are like that.
Yeah, exactly. They're like very like set. Like 1 + 1 is 2, and like it has to be. They're very like the more like calculated
They're
type of people.
structured, and
Yeah.
organized.
And when they're in a system, they're way less likely to like stray from that system. That's why they're not as creative, because creative people are all over here, and like they're over there now, and then they're over there now, because they get bored. And then like the conscientious people are less likely to get like bored of what they're doing.
That's why I'm going for 3 jobs.
But that doesn't mean that conscientious people can't be high IQs. Like it doesn't mean it at all. But it does mean more people on average are creative that have higher IQs. And that's why you see Elon. Like so, the people that are at the top of dominance hierarchies, so like Elon Musk, are the creative people. But they also are high in conscientiousness. So like Elon Musk, not only is he like extremely highly open on things, he's also extremely high in conscientiousness as well. So.
I hope you're not about to slander that man.
And then you're like how extroverted you are is just like
It's like an alien.
Obviously if you're more you go out and talk to people or
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah,
If you don't go out and talk, you know what I mean?
All right, so what's E?
That's
E is
what
extroversion,
Oh, okay. So what's
Extroversion.
A?
agreeableness.
Agreeableness.
So if you're so there's people that are like disagreeable, and there's people that are agreeable, and men on average are way more disagreeable compared to like women.
Yes,
That's insane.
Men are extremely disagreeable.
I agree.
Insane.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll admit it.
And
I'll admit it.
the more disagreeable you are, nice.
The more disagreeable you are.
The more disagreeable you are, the more you.
All they see is a weight and an
Yeah.
arm.
That's fine. Keep going.
The more disagreeable you are.
Taylor.
Well, here we got a break in the action.
Finally. Took forever.
Baby. Oh, she's gone.
Oh.
No. Oh no, baby.
Whoa, is that okay?
That's
The
okay.
cat just
Yeah, she's
escaped.
been sick.
Hey Taylor.
Whoa.
Hey, babe.
Get some good stuff. Kind of. I got my mom like this like $40 pair of boots. Really? Yeah. Did you go to Famous Footwear? No, I was going to, but like by the time I was getting ready to like
We'll
look
come
for
back to
that,
that.
Yeah.
We'll come back to your part.
they were like about to close.
No, we're
So I went to
going to
Ross.
Oh, you're
And I
not
found
I'm not
a
ready
pair
for
of
that.
boots there.
Why aren't you ready
I
for
wish
your
they
own?
would actually
Alright.
be
You're not ready for
$5
your
We'll
own?
go back.
I know.
They weren't
What was
doing
it?
anything.
I mean, their prices
Ocean,
are already good.
Park Ranger.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Sure.
So, more disagreeable people.
Yeah.
Gotta find my train of thought.
You're talking about how men were more disagreeable than
Yeah.
women.
Yes. Okay.
What do you mean?
So like it kind of overlaps the way that so like let's say like here's women and like their scale of how they are in agreeableness, and then men are like here, or sorry, in like how agreeable they are. Like they overlap. Like some women are just as agreeable as men, but more men on average are disagreeable than women. Like you'll
That's
agree.
interesting.
You're not gonna argue with certain things more than you are. You're gonna stay. You're gonna agree with what's going on
You think
in
men
a situation.
argue more?
Our relationship
No,
is the opposite.
no. I mean like you're gonna be disagreeable with what's going on in your life.
She gave me a dirty.
Guys are.
look.
You know what I mean? So
Dirty
like it's gonna
look.
be like guys are gonna
You have to
disagree.
literally be right about like the stuff being a certain color. Like
I
I hear
would call
ya.
that disagreeable.
It's more
Okay,
about
man.
where you are in life. You know what I mean? Like it's more about what's going on with you. Like your guys are gonna be less
We want one person talking at a
agreeable
time.
with what's going on. Like let's say with your job, like guys are gonna be way more disagreeable with where they are in their life.
I feel like it's totally opposite.
It's not.
You think it's more disagreeable to other people or more disagreeable with their circumstances? Because that's
It's
what you
a
made it
bit of
sound like in
both.
that last one.
It's a bit of both.
So like less
I feel like more
less
guys,
going with the
I'm gonna
flow,
take off
more contra,
No, I
more.
feel like guys are more going with the flow, and women like want to be in a certain.
That's what I feel like.
That's interesting that you
be-
think that because I do not. I feel. I mean,
But it like I said, it depends. Like
Like, we're
certain
on the
women,
opposite
certain women are
side
extremely
of the spectrum.
disagreeable, but there's still the highest. There's way more disagreeable men. Like let's just say like the most disagreeable
makes
people in the
sense.
world. The most disagreeable
It's
people in the
just
world
ours
are
is
men,
flipped.
and the most agreeable people in the world are women. You see what I mean? So like they overlap.
The mean.
In that,
We're talking averages.
yeah, they're exactly.
Yeah,
so you
but
could be
why
like,
do you say that?
you
Just
could be the
because
most
there's
disagreeable
more-
woman in the world, but you're
Like,
not
is
the
that
most.
just because there's more men like
Yeah, men
figures?
are always
You're
like,
only seeing
I'm the
men that are
smartest
figures
guy
that are
ever.
disagreeable. You don't see as many women that do disagree, like publicly.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
men are like super strong in their
Opinions
opinion.
that
Yeah,
you see, but you don't see a lot of women.
exactly.
I have no
He's raising
basis on what to.
What are you saying, Scott?
Nothing. I'm just pointing.
Oh.
To Taylor back there.
I do not know
Putting my
enough to even
Okay.
speak about this, so.
I'm listening. I'm interested.
So what's the N?
Neuroticism.
Oh, that's a good one.
What is that?
Neuroticism is your like emotional, like how you handle things. Like how your emotions kind of affect how you act in the world. Almost, it's like
how much your brain's working.
Well-
your brain. If you're
more
neurotic, then
time?
your brain is thinking about
Yeah,
a lot of things and
exactly.
overthinking these little things.
Exactly.
Okay.
so like when something happens, if you're a highly neurotic person, you're gonna explode with it. Like you're gonna be like thinking a lot about it. If you're lowly neurotic, right? If you have, you're just gonna be like whatever. That was whatever.
Yeah,
Who cares?
it'll pass by.
I'm
Exactly.
a little bit towards the neurotic side, I think.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are, but a lot of people don't say they are or don't want to say they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most people will have a situation and they'll think very deeply about it and they'll
Yeah.
consider
Yeah,
all the
that's
different
true.
things. And that's a neurotic
But it's-
behavior, but nobody wants to tell everybody that they're thinking about.
Yeah.
Well, this person's thinking this, and I'm doing this, and they're probably thinking
Yeah,
this.
that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm more on the neurotic side.
Yeah.
So how does Ocean all fit together?
So, that's actually a really good question because it's
you.
actually crazy how it really does fit. Okay, so like it really just depends. It's person to person because everybody has like it's how you're raised. Because you almost take on traits from your parents, but you also take on traits from fucking everywhere else.
So
So as you're being raised, like everybody has a different level of like neuroticism. Everybody has a different level of conscientiousness and openness. One crazy thing is when if you do mushrooms, people that are very low. I'm just listening to me though. They done tests on this. If you're really low in openness, if you do mushrooms, you'll literally be like raised to like the 80th percentile of openness.
Interesting.
You explained all of this to me at Skyler's. I'm just
This is
remembering this.
fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say real quick, this sounds just like a Joe Rogan podcast where they're super deep into something.
Yo, Jamie, can you pull up those stats on mushrooms?
Where's our
is
producer? Is our producer up here? No.
Jamie.
Jimmy, pull that up. So ocean is just a scale of like measuring where
Basically.
you are. So where does it come into play? Like, obviously you're labeling the personality traits, but
Yeah.
is this
So-
like a scale or
So like, what do you mean like with
what's it used for? Is it just a term?
It determines almost like it determines where you're gonna be in life almost. Like it depends on like how open you are is how creative you are, and so how you're going to what you're going to do to expand your thought process. Like what you're gonna do in your life to almost like what is it? Like you're reflecting on your openness reflects on how you are in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How what you're going to achieve, I guess. You know what I mean?
So we're just supposed to be conscious of where we lay in the ocean.
Basically. And then
That's great.
conscientiousness is like how you're gonna get there. Like you gotta be if you're conscientious you're gonna be more driven towards what you're doing at that moment.
Sure.
So that's why Elon Musk he is a really good example of a person who's because like there is like almost a hierarchy of what ocean should be. If that makes any sense. You want to be low in neuroticism. You want to be very, very high in openness and conscientiousness. You want to be highly extroverted and also very disagreeable. So
Interesting.
that's the hierarchy. That's what you need if you want to be like a successful.
One
as
more
Elon.
time. One more time.
Yeah, one more time. Let me hear. If you're okay, we're saying what these things should be. This
Yeah.
is in order to be successful.
Yeah, as Elon Musk, let's say.
Oh, so yes.
Because Elon Musk is extremely
So-
open. Like I guarantee you, he's one of the most open people in the world, and
believe that.
creativity.
Yeah.
Conscientiousness, and which means you're gonna like do whatever you need to do to get there. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. Like creativeness is your ideas, but conscientiousness is you taking hold of that and doing it.
So what's the highs and lows? You want to be.
You want to be low in neuroticism, right? Because if nothing affects you in a certain sense, like if nothing you see like it's gonna affect you on some grand scale, because it's not impairing your judgment then, right? You're low in neuroticism, nothing's gonna affect your judgment. If you're disagreeable, you're gonna be able to not like completely disagreeable, because if you're completely disagreeable, you're not gonna be able to negotiate very well. You're gonna be like no, and you want to be able to say yes a few times, because otherwise you're not very good at negotiating. You're just an asshole.
But you want to be set on your path.
Yeah, but you also want to
to.
know what you want. Being disagreeable doesn't mean you're just saying no all the times. It means you know what you want, and you know when how you're gonna get there, kind of thing, as well. And that's what you're doing. That's and then conscientiousness is obviously your like inner conscience. I guess that would be a good way of saying it, to do what you're gonna do. So like if you're gonna do something, you do it right away. So like Elon Musk, he has an idea for something. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go do that, and then he goes and does it, because he's highly open. He has all these creative ideas, and then he goes and does it because he's highly conscientious.
Take some action.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not conscientiousness is not just about going and doing stuff and not having action. It's also like having the foresight to see what could come out of something if something happened, or you like think about every possibility. You're very like.
That's the most interesting part of the ocean one for me.
Yeah.
What does it mean, conscientiousness? Seems like it has a broad scale.
It is exactly. Openness is just like.
It's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So we should be working to be more conscientious.
Extremely, yeah. That's like the biggest driving. And the thing is, more Republicans are more conscientious. Is the thing. By the way, Republicans are highly conscientious people.
Going into politics. Let's go.
and then Democrats are a lot more open type of people.
Wishing to do what is right, especially to do one's work or duty well and thoroughly. So wishing to do what is right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Relating to a person's conscience, that's a different one, but a person is willing to do the work well and thoroughly.
Yeah.
So.
And then extroversion as well. Elon, I guarantee he's relatively, because you can't negotiate with people if you're not extroverted enough to go out and almost talk about your ideas with people and like negotiate with them, right? So you're not going to be able to do any of the things And the thing is, he's so successful that people come to him.
That's true.
Times.
Once you get to that point.
Yeah, let's talk about Elon Musk for a
There's
second.
a bathroom in there.
Bathroom's in there, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you drop it.
Elon Musk. This guy's insane, right? Like, he has so many ideas.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. And did you see, he just came out with a new one, the Cybertruck.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the Cybertruck?
I've heard of it, yeah.
It looks like a big trapezoid, planted on some Humvee wheels.
Was it you that talked about that?
I've spoken on it. Probably didn't talk to you about it at the party.
I heard something about that.
It came out just last week, I believe. But yeah, it's supposed to be. There's a video of it actually towing a Ford F-150 up a hill, but it's a fake video. It's got the video, or the Cybertruck is in 4-wheel drive and the F-150 is in 2-wheel drive. But either way, it looks like a pretty good truck, but the design is very weird because it's shaped like a triangle almost. The bed is huge. It's 20 feet long, but the windshield and the tower, whatever you call it. What's the back of a part of a truck called? The bed. Mm-hmm. The bed. Yeah. Yeah, the bed. They all angle towards the tip, but yeah, it's supposed to be a pretty good truck, and you just came up with that out of nowhere. It's totally different than what all the other trucks look like.
Before that, I heard he was making some semi that drives like a sports car.
Yes, he's working on semis. He wants to have semis to replace the Mack trucks, but he wants to be able to have them so they're running in like a train type of thing.
Yeah.
So you can have like 10 of them with one driver in the front, and they'll all be driving on the interstate.
Wow, that sounds
remote
intense.
controlled. Yeah, well, it is intense, and if he actually goes through with it, we'll lose
a lot of jobs,
hundreds of thousands of jobs to truck drivers.
That's true.
And then also the people in the truck stops, because those truck stops are reliant on people pulling over and buying snacks and filling up on gas.
Excuse me. We'll also gain a bunch of jobs for tech jobs. I mean, it's sad for the truck drivers for sure, but tech jobs, creating all that stuff and keeping it running, that's a lot more jobs as well. It's just a lot of a lot of the old-fashioned jobs will be taken away.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, it'll be a big change, is what
Yeah.
it'll be like some have compared it to the Industrial Revolution. Andrew Yang talks about that a lot.
Yeah.
He talks
Andrew
about
Yang,
how
yeah.
the the increase in AI and all this technology that'll come across will
Would
will
you guys
lose a
vote
lot
for
of
Andrew
base.
Yang?
I'm Yang
No.
Gang, buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not voting for him, but I support him. He seems like he's got the right idea, but I mean he's not a good
I mean,
candidate.
We're already headed towards that difference of old-fashioned jobs to new like tech jobs.
Yeah.
So it's like he's not really creating anything new where like that wasn't going to happen
It's-
before.
Elon?
It seems like
Yeah, it's
Oh.
going to happen. Like tech jobs are going to become more important rather than old-fashioned,
Manual labor,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Exactly. So like it's not like he's destroying those jobs himself. Like that's already going to happen.
Well, I mean, it's the advancement of our race.
Yeah.
You know.
It is. It has to happen.
But I mean, at the same time, I mean, if you talk about philosophy, I mean, the advancement of our technology is also our downfall. I mean, like if you talk about, or if you read any philosophy, like almost every philosopher will tell you like we're not a wise race. We haven't we're way more technologically advanced than we are wise. Which
Well,
is scary.
Sure, nobody has ever experienced the point where it's become the end. It's all
But it's
foreseeing the
Exactly.
very worst of the future.
Yeah, which could be the next 50 years.
But I don't know if Elon's necessarily doing anything that detrimental though.
Well, the
What's
thing
he
is,
doing?
Elon's
He's
one of the
making
people that-
cars. He's making like he wants to terraform Mars.
He's just opening our mind
He's
up
not
to more
necessarily
possibilities.
maybe besides the self-driving stuff. He
I mean-
could take away jobs for that. I'm just not. I don't know what other
Elon's,
jobs are he taking away.
Exactly.
Elon's one of the people he's scared of the technology advancement.
Yeah, I'm saying that he's not the one that's causing that. Like the world's already moving in that direction.
Exactly.
He's just making things that.
He's piloting it.
Yeah.
Which I think one thing that's interesting about Elon is that he literally has like the knowledge about just things like just little things, and then it's almost like he expands on them to the point that it makes it like almost real in our eyes. You know what I mean? Like it's a real thing that could happen because he knows the
living on
limit. He
Mars.
knows the limits of things more than what anybody else does, or at least most people do.
He brings his ideas and he puts them into action.
Yeah.
That's his thing. Is he has the money and the resources to be able to take those futuristic ideas and actually test them out in the real world and see what happens.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
like scientists getting
Yeah.
grants for new tests and shit. Except Musk
He doesn't
is
need grants.
private,
Yeah.
so he's rich
Yeah,
enough.
he's kind of like an experimental physicist a bit, but and he has the money for it, so he
Yeah.
just does it.
I don't have a problem with. I feel like I would prefer that the technological advances happen in the private sector instead of instead of in universities or with the government
Yeah.
having that power.
But I have thought multiple times on the fact that the human race needs to evolve more so into their ideology and societal rather than technology.
What do you mean?
Technology.
Technologically.
Yeah.
like we should
Talk more
focus
on that,
more
Riley.
on
So, the idea is like people in general aren't really like we're actually downscaling in social aspects. Like we're getting more into technology and avoiding social confrontation.
I agree.
We're downgrading in societal confliction rather than evolving. So technology is moving too fast as to where we can't keep up with it, and we're devolving into things that rely on technology rather than piloting it ourselves.
I feel like the easiest and most obvious example of this is like social media.
Yeah.
That's the one everyone
Exactly.
uses.
That's what I was
but,
thinking.
Yeah, we're becoming victims to it. We're not. It doesn't seem like we have control of it. We're just kind of passengers in the ride and seeing what happens, and we just embrace whatever comes to us. We'll have Mark Zuckerberg will come out with a new update for Instagram, and everybody will start acting different.
Exactly.
And it doesn't seem like we have full control or
Young talks
knowledge
about
over what's
that.
going on.
You guys really should read Carl Jung. He's an amazing psychologist. He talks about how basically the two, like Christianity and Marxism, are two examples of when humans basically conform to like social constructs, and those social constructs change or basically mind control people. And social media is no different than that. It's almost like it's a neo-Marxist platform.
Well, then could you say everything bigger than one person, like with ideologies? Like...
I'm just talking about. So, I'm not saying that certain things aren't necessary for, because like society. Okay, people talking with each other is necessary, but not in the sense that it's taking away the individuality of the person. And that is a thing in Marxism and in Christianity and in social media. Like when people start acting a certain way because it's the social norm, based upon like let's say in Marxism, like the social norm is if you're not like very nationalistic about the USSR, if you're not like extremely patriotic, you'll be fucking shot, and that is. And the thing is, the people were brainwashed to believe that, like that's completely right.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? And so that brainwashing is literally a thing still. Now it's neo-Marxism. Like we literally have that nowadays.
I see.
It may not be as like prominent. You may not like think of it as like an actual thing, but it's literally a thing nowadays. It's
the
it's
ideas
scary.
that they write about are more broad, but the way that it actually happens in real life is it's more easygoing. It's a gentle
nowadays,
slope. It's not like we are getting arrested by the police. We're slowly being.
It's more postmodern. Postmodern neo-Marxism is very subtle.
That's where you lost me.
Postmodern is just where we're at right now, and neo-Marxism is just the new Marxist way.
Yeah.
And that's social media.
Gotcha.
I see where you're. I see what you're saying, and I tend to agree with it. I'm pretty sure in Canada, I'm not sure if you misgender someone, but if you do something wrong, if you say something wrong to someone, you can you'll get fined or something.
Yeah.
And, it is much more easygoing.
Yeah, we're
Laws
being
are
led
set
down
in.
a path.
Yeah.
Rather than controlling ourselves.
And so, one thing that Carl Jung talks about is it's literally just about like. You can have your society, like you can have the times when you want to be part of a society, because he says that it's important, but you need to be mainly focused on your inner development as a person. Like your inner self is who you should be trying to find, not trying to take anything away from like how you should act based upon like social media. Like you shouldn't look at something and be like, oh, that guy's doing, like a celebrity's doing this, so I should act that way. You know what I mean? Like that's completely taking away from your individuality, and that's dangerous, you know, because he talks about how the individual is the most important person.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like we're
as a society of individuals,
we're
is way
devolving
more
in social individuality.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I agree with that completely.
I have to amend something. I was wrong. Well, I said a fine, but no jail in Canada for misusing gender pronoun. So.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
Well, I was wrong. Apparently, it was a fake news story that I got trolled by. But
that happens.
There was I took a class over this. It was mainly focused on Sparta, but in the second half of the semester, we read 1984 and A Brave New World.
1984, yeah.
And
Aldous Huxley talks about that, yeah.
It's kind of interesting. You can, like, if you really focus on some stuff, you can see how 1984 is slowly creeping in.
Yeah, that's a common theme in utopian books, is that they talk about basically people devolving from their individuality.
Mm-hmm. And it's a big thing again with social media. And A Brave New World, they had a drug.
Yeah.
To they had an actual drug you would take to conform. But,
yeah.
I mean, now the drug could be considered social media.
Yeah.
True.
Wow, social media.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the generic, like, oh, if you talk bad about social media, then you're like, come on, but
it really, okay, here's my point of view is it really is something, okay, it's something you really need to be careful with. Like, you need to distill everything that comes out of social media, in my opinion. That's why whenever growing up, dude, like, I was kind of like, ugh, social media is a little bit scary. But then again, I don't know. It's hard to...
It's a new thing. I mean...
It's a new thing.
In the grand scheme of things, we're not entirely sure what happens.
Especially since we're already
extremely addictive.
What were you saying? Yeah, and we're not wise. I mean, not just like kids in general, because we're kind of kids in the grand scheme of things, but people in general, the human race, like we're not a wise race. We've been around for very little time. Like I don't mean like our what is it? Our
Think about it.
our what's it called? Basically, our neurology, like the way our brains work, is not new. I mean, but us humans are new. You see what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, a little bit.
So our neurology has been like forged in like other animals for billions of years.
Oh yeah, we're still partly getting
Lobster.
excited by fires, and we're still a little bit tribal.
Yeah.
We're closer to tribal than we
we're
are
closer
to
to tribal than we are-
technological.
Yeah, and the thing is that we need to be more closer to tribal because we're still young, and the fact that we're like monkeys with a fucking
I think
like
we're
gun
closer to
at this point. You know what I
technology.
mean?
Well, in the
Yeah, but it's like I said, so we're like a monkey with a gun. You see what I mean?
I'm just a
we're trying to
dog
infuse
chasing a
ourselves with technology, but we're not wise enough to be able to like not
Exactly.
shoot ourselves in the
Yeah.
foot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
That's the
Our
point I'm trying to talk about.
Basically, the whole summary of this is just our social construct needs to evolve and be equal with technology.
Yes,
Yeah.
we need to evolve with technology, maybe slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But
But people like Mark Zuckerberg are just gonna keep fucking
Well,
outputting us.
I mean, the thing is, with capitalism, it gets really fucking hard. Because literally everybody's gonna do whatever they need to do in order to make how much the money they want to make, and they think it's almost okay with all the philanthropists. I'm not saying that all of them are bad, but some of them they really get to the point where they like have like a narcissistic kind of outlook on life, where they're like, I am the person that has to make the world technologically advanced, but they don't understand that if they do that, they're literally progressing the world in a way that we're not ready for yet.
exactly.
Like we're not ready. And the thing is, we're like we can create something, but we don't know the
Ramifications.
ramifications of that exactly.
I'd say that's more of a self-driven thing than like
Yeah.
a capitalism thing.
But well, okay, that it is. But at the same time, capitalism almost feeds
It's
into
both,
it.
really.
They really kind of feed each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely don't have the perfect system, but if you want to go on the opposite end, then you're never going to get anywhere with technology.
I mean, it's just the question of how do we evolve socially? Like, how do we further that? Like,
Time.
purposefully.
Time, like a lot of time.
But the time has to be in a certain direction.
yeah,
So
you
what
need certain
direction?
experiences.
Yeah.
You need to be able to.
And the way we're going now, man, like our world is, I don't want to say we're going on a dark path. It's a scary path. It's
So,
chaos.
Instead
almost.
of that,
It's
we
unknown.
don't know what it's unknown. It's
Instead of
we're
that-
very. And we
Everything's
we
unknown.
have like certain things we can predict because think about it, we're a young race. We have we have generations starting where kids are all introduced with technology at a very young age, and then
So-
where is that headed exactly?
so instead of
Who
thinking
knows?
about
we
where,
can kind of guess, but
instead of thinking about where we are going and where we shouldn't go, let's think about where we should go.
True.
Like, where,
What can we do? Where
how
do we go?
can we evolve socially?
You have to make an effort. You have to go against what people tell you to do.
You've got to be that guy that watches YouTube videos that says, go talk to someone 10 times a day, at least.
Yeah, I mean you got to do it. If you don't want to be locked in a
you're-
cage.
The bookshelves guy, Tyler Puss.
I don't know who that is.
I got books in my garage. I got a
there's a guy
Lambo in
named
my
Tyler.
garage.
His name's Tyler on YouTube. He's really cool. He
You
talks
showed me
about that
that
stuff.
guy.
Huh?
You showed me that guy.
Yeah, he's good.
Ah,
You don't like him?
I don't buy into it.
You don't buy into it?
I don't buy into it.
I
don't.
It's just the fact that YouTube has to tell us to go talk to people.
He's a little bit over the top.
I don't believe in the whole. I don't believe in the concept that much. I think he has a good idea, but I think he kind of preys on people who aren't strong enough socially. I think there is a. I think there's.
The
I
thing
think
is,
there's a.
you create yourself socially is the thing.
Sure. Yeah, and I think there's something to be said for going out
It's
and
you
trying
just-
stuff, but I think I mean him in particular is a little predatory. His Tyler, the guy that Jeryn was talking about, it's just like a street game type of thing. It's like going out and talking to girls and dudes
Yeah.
if you want, just trying to get experience and get into a flow and start talking to people. But I don't know.
I know where we're headed if we go unchecked.
We're
We're already getting there. VR porn.
Yeah.
What?
That's where we go.
Our how badly porn has affected us as a
So, I
society
mean-
now. This thing.
It's true. It's true. Porn is the worst thing that can, as a society, it's totally detrimental. It
So-
harms men to the greatest extent.
I talked about Pinocchio when we
Yeah,
were at,
I
and this
remember
this
that, yeah.
feeds into this exact conversation because what the story of Pinocchio is the basically an age old story.
We might be too loud for the mic. I feel.
Oh,
I feel like we're yelling into the
yeah,
mic.
yeah, my
think
bad.
so?
We've also been live for about an hour and 15.
It's like it's an
Hour
age old
19.
story that talks about basically, you as an individual are a hero of your own story, and what a hero does is Peter Pan. It's more of I'll transition a little bit with Peter Pan from Pinocchio, but it's a similar kind of talk. Anyway, so Peter Pan is basically the kid within you. You're a kid that can never grow, that never grows up, and your belief in Tinkerbell, and which is basically pornography, and so
Interesting.
he doesn't Peter Pan in the movie Peter Pan he doesn't he almost doesn't think Wendy is real, or he almost he almost ignores her as like a person, and he finds Tinkerbell's company way more interesting, and that is supposed to be basically like a pornography kind of
Instead of real
juxtaposition.
females.
Where did you read this?
I read it. Jordan Peterson, bro. He talks about all this stuff.
Oh, I didn't know he was still making stuff.
He makes stuff all the time, every day.
I thought he got banned from YouTube. And
No.
Have you read his 7 reasons?
12 reasons.
12
Rules for
reasons.
Life.
Yeah,
12 verses. I haven't read. I was on my list of books I need to get.
it's a thick book. You
Is
have to concentrate
Clean
on it.
your room.
Yeah.
That's like, no.
Is that one of them?
No,
Yeah.
it definitely is.
Yeah.
It is.
Can I open the door?
Yeah. It is getting hot in
I'm
here.
a little toasty. We got a lot of voices in here.
When
Yeah.
do we want to wrap it up if we do want to wrap
Probably
it up?
soon. I've got to get to sleep. I've got to work at
Okay.
2:30 in the morning. 3
Oh,
hours
cat.
away almost. Or no, 5 hours away. No, 4.
4 hours away? Oh, 2:30.
I got to wake up at... I have to leave at 2. I have to wake up at 1:45.
Oh, that's okay. But
So yeah, we should probably wrap it up.
Well, let's talk about what we did and what we're gonna do.
Well, we did. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of good conversations in. I like where we're going. We got a good base. We got some good topics in. Next time, we should plan on a week from now. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we do next Friday?
And we should think of topics. We should also make a host, like you said. That's a good idea. And
I'll be the host.
And then, yeah, so next week we'll have Skyler be the host. He can think of some topics and we'll comment. And then we should also try and make a schedule. And David maybe make a Twitter
Okay.
and make announcements. Even though no one will be listening for now, maybe.
Doesn't matter. We're doing it for ourselves.
Exactly.
And then whatever happens, happens. We got a lot of good content, and I feel like this was good.
Yeah.
It was fun to me, so
Yeah.
who cares about,
That's true. That's true. So yeah, in the future we'll do. All
And
those
we
things.
already have a bunch of Coors Light here for next time. That's for sure.
That's true.
Probably don't need the whiskey next time.
All right, David, are you turning it off?
I have no idea how to do this.
You have to go to OBS. I just dropped.
hit the stop recording and the stop streaming.